Well, frustrated border state governors are taking new steps to try to combat the surge of illegal migrants seeking entry. Texas Governor Abbott authorized the arrest of migrants and their return to the border. Arizona will spend more than $500 million on new security measures, including maintaining former President Trump's border wall. Meanwhile, the Biden administration insists the border is secure. Let's bring in Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. He's also a Republican U.S. Senate candidate. So Arizona, General Brnovich, wants to spend more than $500 million to do the job that the federal government ought to be doing?
Yeah, thank you, John, for having me on. And it really is the height of absurdity, because when it comes to border security, national security, that is when the federal government, the White House, is at its ultimate peak of power. And it shouldn't be up to states like Arizona and Texas to have to do the job the feds won't. And unfortunately, we taxpayers in Arizona are having to pay for this. But all of us, all across the country now, we are all border states because, as Bill Malusian just reported, we have a record amount of fentanyl, record amount of methamphetamine coming into this country. We have people on the terror watch list coming in. So not only Arizona and Texas, but the entire United States will be affected, and people will die as a result of Joe Biden's failed policies.
The headline is $564 million committed to border spending by your governor, Doug Ducey, because the Biden administration, he says, is not doing anything. Inaction, he calls it. It says that he's dedicating a record $564 million to help secure our border with a physical barrier, address critical public safety staffing shortages, and modernize the technology and public safety equipment to target criminal activity and keep Arizona's citizens safe. I'm just guessing that you applaud what the governor is doing.
Yeah, well, Arizona, we are trying to do something. And, John, I wrote the first opinion in the entire country that basically says what is happening right now at our southern border constitutes an invasion. And I'm working with folks like Representative Arrington in Texas to make sure that we're doing everything we can so the states can use the tools in their toolboxes, including apprehending and expelling people that are violating essentially the invasion clause of the Constitution. But take a step back here. The big problem is that it's a matter of policy. We can have all the fences and all the drones, but if Joe Biden is incentivizing and monetizing people breaking the law, and now he's decriminalizing it by refusing to deport people, deportation orders. We have a lawsuit where he wants DHS to grant asylum, basically to people that have broken the law. So when you have the federal government having policies that incentivize and decriminalize, if people are coming here illegally and they're being rewarded for it, you're going to continue to see people break the law. So that's why it's been so demoralizing to us when you have people literally, John, crossing our southern border with, carry-on luggage. I mean, you get more of a hassle going through TSA at the airport than you will right now breaking the law coming into our country illegally because of the Joe Biden administration.
Yeah, well, the Department of Justice is apparently looking at the program in Texas, Operation Lone Star, where they're using National Guardsmen to apprehend illegals and take them back to the border. The DOJ says that could be a violation of the Constitution. Give us your take on that as Arizona's Attorney General.
Well, as someone that's had to sue the Biden administration numerous times and just got sued again, I will tell you that the Biden administration does not have a very good grasp of the law, and they have less grasp of the U.S. Constitution. And they're basically trying to centralize power in D.C. And we, Arizona, we just got sued last week because we have a law that says only citizens can vote in our election. You have to prove proof of citizenship if you want to vote in the presidential election. Joe Biden has let more than 3 million people into this country illegally, and yet he wants to sue Arizona for trying to check the citizenship of people voting in our elections. And so people can draw their own conclusions what Joe Biden or whoever's talking in his earpiece is doing here. But it's the height of hypocrisy to incentivize, decriminalize, and have a record amount of people illegally entering our country, that at the same time they're going after folks like Greg Abbott for trying to stop illegal immigration and protect his communities, and at the same time they're suing us in Arizona, and I'm going to have to be in court again defending a common sense election integrity measure that says only citizens can vote in our U.S. elections.
And it's not just the people coming across the border, it's the fentanyl, which comes essentially from China gets transported to Mexico and then brought across our border. It is now killing Americans in record numbers, and the Biden administration does not seem to care.
They don't care. And this crisis, this catastrophe will not be stopped until Joe Biden and Kamala Harris care more about middle America than they do about central America. And that's a harsh reality. And as a first-generation American, it breaks my heart when I see what's happening here, this undermining of the rule of law. As a former gang prosecutor, I will tell you, the record amount of drugs right now that are being seized, it seems like every few months our office is involved in some of the largest seizures and prosecutions. Just a few months ago, there was enough fentanyl pills seized to kill half the population of Arizona. And just last month on our southern border, there was enough drugs seized to kill the entire state. So, this is not staying in Arizona. This is going to end up in Des Moines and Chicago and all over the United States. And that's why I'm doing everything I can in the courtroom, in the court of public opinion, running for the U.S. Senate as well, to make sure we're doing everything to protect not only my children, but all of our children.
Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. General Brnovich, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, John.